Recently, we sailed our way west from New Caledonia to a city called Bundaberg, which is located just north of Brisbane, the state capital of Queensland, Australia. We're currently in a marina just outside of the city, waiting to get checked in. This being our first time in Australia and having a multiple day passage behind us, my brother and me can't wait to set foot on land. We're expecting the arrival of a friend who is supposed to sail with us to Sydney, and he also has a rental car to take us to town. The last time we've been to that big of a city was in Panama almost 1.5 years ago, and that's why we are very excited to go to a familiar supermarket. Of course, we had big stores in Tahiti and Fiji, but they weren't as familiar as this one. And maybe the reason we're so excited is because we have the same kind in Germany. Seeing and being somewhere that felt like home is kind of nice for a change, and though our boat is our home, we still sometimes miss our home in Germany. Obviously, I freaked out almost every time I saw something new, but I mean, it has been over a year since the last time I ate Toblerone. Tonight on the menu, burgers. Okay, I'm just in the bathroom of a Burger King, and actually, what I just realized today, they're called Hungry Jacks in Australia for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Day 2 of being in Australia, and it's a beautiful morning this morning. My mom and I stretched for a little bit and did some, worked out a little bit, and now I'm gonna eat breakfast, and we have fruit. We have strawberries and raspberries and peaches and all that kind of stuff, so that is very, very exciting. Later that day, we drove to a turtle center to learn a little bit more about these creatures and see how they nest. Because it's nesting season from November to January, we were able to see footprints of turtles laying eggs. They usually find a place in the shade for the eggs to hatch, and they do so at night. We went for a little walk through the nature, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw 2 kangaroos just standing there staring at me. I know that you hear so much about kangaroos in Australia, but for some reason I didn't think we were going to see some on the second day we were here. The third day started off the same as the first 2. My mom and me woke up early to do a little workout, and then I decided it was time for a haircut. I don't think I've been to a hairdresser since I was 5 years old, and I know that might sound crazy to some, but I'm fine with it, and my mom always does a pretty good job of it, so I have nothing to complain about. We took off and left Bundaberg to make our way towards Sydney because we want to spend Christmas and New Year's there. The plan for the next few days is basically sail a couple of miles and then stay there for the night, and then leave early in the morning of the next day to do the same. Our first stop is a place called Hervey Bay because my parents were here 20 years ago and made a friend they'd like to catch up with. And so we were invited to a Christmas party. Looking stylish. I think we're ready to go. The following day, my brother wanted to go cutting, so my dad and I helped him set it up. I was thinking of going, but I'm not very good at it, and I don't have a dinghy in the water, so in case I lose my board, I have no way of getting it back. So this time I was more of a supporting sister. Since we're on passage right now, and I'm really bored, by the way, we're going to a different anchorage. It's only 20 miles away, but so that's 4-hour passage, but still, I'm kind of bored, so I'm gonna show you my awesome shirt. My friends gave me this shirt when we left Fiji as a goodbye present because, we've been cruising with them for a long time and they're like family, so everyone drew on that shirt and left their message and everything, so that I love it. It's so cute. Anyways, and what makes me really, really happy is that everyone did it, and not just the girls or not just the kids, like even the parents did it. Like every single one of our friends did it, and that's why it's like so, oh, you can't even see all of it, but here. So anyways, so basically we hiked like kind of in the forest. There was this hiking trail that we took, but now we're walking back along the beach because we want to try both ways, you know. Another day, another adventure. Basically we're gonna go on land and explore a little bit and see what's on land and if it's interesting, and then in about 2 hours I think we're gonna go to a different anchorage and stay there for the night. Let's do it! The same day we moved twice because my mom found a dolphin feeding cafe and we wanted to go check it out. In the morning we went to the cafe not expecting that many people because the evening before the village was basically dead. I thought it was incredible to be so close to dolphins and they were super cute, but I did feel really sad that such a big crowd surrounded them and fed them, and I can tell you it's a much better experience when you just let them live their life and they just appear next to your boat during a passage. The workers assured us that only the adults were being fed because the calves needed to learn how to feed for themselves. They also told us that these dolphins swim 18 kilometers every day to get to the feeding.
Fraser Island to the left, Australia mainland to the right, and now we're going in the channel. It's kind of like a pass. We have to navigate between the waves.
I thought I'd just tell you about the craziest experience I have ever experienced. You see the land behind me? Me and my mom and our crew wanted to go on land and go for a hike to see a lighthouse that's on the other side. But the thing is, there are huge waves in front of the beach, so basically we couldn't go to the beach with our dinghy because, you know, if waves break over our dinghy, then our dinghy would be flooded and, you know, it would sink. What we did first when we went in was my brother dropped us off and he went in as far as he could with the dinghy, and then we waited for a period of time where there weren't any waves, and then we drove as quickly as possible to the beach and carried the dinghy up the beach a little bit to prevent it from, you know, flipping over or something. We were a little bit too slow, so there was a lot of water in the dinghy when we carried it up the beach. So that was the first crazy experience that we almost flipped over. And then my brother obviously didn't want to go on the hike, so he wanted to go back to the boat, but there were a lot of waves, right? So we tried to go in the water with him as far as we could to help him get in the dinghy and drive away as quickly as possible. But as we were in the water, waves were already coming, even though we waited for a period of time where there were no waves. So he got in the dinghy and drove towards our boat as quickly as possible, but this one wave broke like underneath him. So basically he like flew like literally 5 meters high. Like the whole dinghy like wasn't touching any water. Like he was in the air, and that was And like in the moment it was scary, but then afterwards I couldn't stop laughing because it was so funny. And then we went for the hike. It was a really beautiful hike. We kind of bushwhacked, but that was fun. But then when we got back, we were thinking, like, how are we gonna get back to the boat? There's no way my brother can come get us with all these waves. What we did in the end is my brother and my dad came to the beach, but as close as they could get without waves breaking. And then I swam out to them and got a waterproof backpack and then swam back in and put the backpacks in the waterproof backpack. And then we all swam out to the dinghy and breaking waves. The current was against us. It was almost dark. There were a lot of jellyfish in the water, which we had to be careful of because we don't know if they're like poisonous or something because, you know, it's Australia. And then also, it's shark season. Hey. But they're so good.